Hello students! Today's lesson is going to be about measurement and scientific notation. What is scientific notation? A times 10 to the n, to the exponent n, where a is a number between 1 and 10 and n is an integer. The speed of light is written in scientific notation 3 times 10 to the 8 meters per second. Scientific notation is used to write very large or very small numbers. The width of a human hair is 0.00008 meter. It is written in scientific notation, which is much simpler to write it as 8 times 10 to the minus 6 meter. Decimal, you just shift it within 10 to the minus 6 meter. This is a very small number. The number of hairs on a human scalp is 100,000. We just write it as 1 times 10 to the 5 hairs we have in scientific notation. Therefore, what is scientific notation? I should have a coefficient. For example, here I have 1.5. Power of 10, 10 squared. So therefore, 1.5 times 10 squared is considered to be a measurement written in scientific notation. I should have a coefficient and power of 10. The coefficient, it should be at least between 1 and 10, less than 10. Example, 2,400. So here, I just write it in scientific notation 2.4 times 10 to the 3. I just shifted 3 places, 2.4 times 10 to the 3. Here I have 0.00086. I shift the decimal 4 places, and I've got it as 8.6 times 10 to the minus 4. When you use scientific notation, please delete only the non-significant figures. Here I have some powers of 10. 10,000, it means I have 1 times 10 to the 4. 1,000, 1 times 10 to the 3. 100, 1 times 10 squared. 10, 1 times 10 to the 1. And 0, of course, as 1, 0 multiples of 10, 1 times 10 to the 0. Whereas if I have here decimals, 0.1, it is 1 to the 10 to the minus 1. 0.01, 1 times 10 to the minus 2. 0.001, 10 to the minus 3. 0.301, 10 to the minus 4. I have here examples for you. How do I write this number to scientific notation? First of all, I have to check how many significant figures I have. Here I have these zeros because I don't have decimals. This is very important. I don't have decimals here. I don't count them as significant figure. So therefore here 985. So I will write it in scientific notation in such a way it should be less than 10. How do I write it? 9.85 times 10 to the 7. And I shift until to how many I have places. I will get it as 9.85 times 10 to the 7. 3 significant, 3 significant here. I have example number 2. How many significant figures here I have? By the way, I should have before and after with the same number of significant. This is I have to be sure of. Here in example 2, I have 5 significant figure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whereas this zeros, it's not considered to be significant because I don't have decimals. I have to have my coefficient less than 10, but therefore 6.4135 times 10 to the 10, 5 significant figure. 0.042, I just write it, 4.2 times 10 to the minus 2, 2 significant, too significant. Here, zeros to the left, non-significant, whereas zeros to the right are significant. Therefore, here I have 6 significant figure. I just write it in scientific notation, 5.06700 with 6 significant figure times 10 to the minus 5 here. Here I have 0.000. I have taken into consideration exactly how many places already I had shifted, and I've got it as 10 to the minus 5. I have some examples for you, some measurements in scientific notation from our life in such a way. Volume of gasoline is this much as a standard number, but therefore it's 5.5 times 10 to the 11. Diameter of the earth is this number, 1.28 times 10 to the 7. Average volume of the blood, 8,500, 8.5 times 10 to the 3. Time for light, 500 seconds, 5 times 10 squared. Mass of a typical human being, 68 kilogram, 6.8 times 10 to the 1. Mass of stirrup bone in ear, 0.003, 3 times 10 to the minus 3. Diameter of a chicken box. Mass of bacteria. But here, these are some examples that it is much simpler to us in order to write it in scientific notation. I'm going to show you here how do we use our own calculator and how do we write it or how it's going to be displayed. This is important that, first of all, I have here a shift button, and I have here, whenever I shift it, I go to 10 to the x. This is 10 to the x here, and it is 10 to the exponent. Therefore here, a number in the form of scientific notation, what do I do? For example, I had written 4.5. I want to write it times 10 to the minus 3. I just click on 4.5, I click shift, and then I click on 10 to the x, and then I go to this minus here. I have a minus 10 to the minus 3. It gives you whatever it is displayed here on the calculator. If you enter exponent key, exp, this one, it shows you مثلا 4.5 exponent exp 5, it gives you 450,000. Therefore this exponent 4 times 10 to the 6, whenever I write it 4 exponent to the 6, it gives you this whatever it is in the calculator, and the same applies for the second example. Here I have examples for you writing a number in scientific notation, 3,500. I have so many examples for you, I would like you, all these examples, to use them in order to practice, as a practice for you. 3,500, 3.5 times 10 to the 3. This is 1.6 times 10 to the minus 9. Here, 4.3 times 10 to the squared, it is 430. 2.5 times 10 to the minus 9, it will be 0.00025. These examples, it will help you a lot. Please practice them. Thank you so much for watching me, and I will see you in other videos. Thank you so much.